Hello, everybody. Tracy Mrs. JDog Flanagan with you here today. I'm the co-founder and senior vice president at JDog Brands. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Tactical Treasures Podcast, sponsored by the JDog Foundation. Our podcast gives veterans, male spouses, active military members, military family members, and patriotic military supporters a voice in the veteran space to speak about their service, how they're affecting their communities post-service, and they share with me a tactical treasure that has helped them in their journey in their military career, business, or life. Today, I am so excited to have with me Fred Connor, who served in the Marine Corps active duty and reserves as an infantry officer, separating after 12 years with the rank of major. Fred has had several roles in the business and the public sector, leading mission-driven projects that turn bold vision into sustainable success. He has developed strategies, aligned teams, and executed with discipline. As an adjunct professor at Temple University, he guides rising planners, designers, and community leaders to realize their own bold visions. His favorite course to teach, People, Places, and Environment. It's part civics primer, part communications lab, all wrapped in the story of America's metropolitan growth. Fred currently serves as the Director of Operations at Founding Forward's Valley Forge campus. In this role, he stewards planning and operations on historic ground, restoring it to its highest purpose, forging leaders, teaching citizenship, and summoning a new generation to advance America's 250-year experiment in self-government. At the nexus of history, education, and execution, Fred leads projects across the finish line, turning whiteboard ideas into reality, then sustaining and scaling them for lasting impact. Because vision without execution is merely aspiration, and our republic demands far more. Hello, Fred. Welcome to the podcast, and
Hi,
thank you so
Tracy.
much. Hi, and thank you so much for your service to our country, Fred.
Well, thank you, Tracy, for your service to our country. JDog is a great, JDog family is such a great asset to the veteran community, especially veteran entrepreneurs. And I really appreciate what you and the whole team there do. I'm just delighted to be on the pod today.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, we have a lot to talk about, but I would love to just touch on your military career. What inspired you to join the Marine Corps?
Wow. So I always had a sense that I wanted to serve, and I had my heart set on going to the United States Military Academy at West Point. My inability to do math of any kind kind of kept me out of that. So I went off to college and yeah, it was a good experience. Played some small college Division III football, and college wasn't the place for me. I didn't think so. I home on my first winter break. I went to every recruiter, and I said, "I'm ready to go. Sign me up."
Wow.
Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Marines, and they all had great deals. All wanted, oh, can you ship? When can you ship? When can you ship? And then I went to the Marine Corps, and the officer selects. Well, the recruiter said, "Well, we can't take you." What do you mean you can't take me? You have to talk to the OSO, the Officer Selection Officer. So I talked to the OSO, and he said, "Yeah, we're not going to let you enlist. You have to. You're in college. You're doing you're doing pretty good in college. You should stay there and be a Marine officer." And I said, "Okay." And they said, "Do you want to fly?" I said, "Nah, not really." Well, they said, "That's good because you don't have the eyesight to fly." So
Okay.
yeah, so the long and short of it, I became an infantry officer way back in 1987 is when I was commissioned.
Okay. Okay. That's when Jerry signed
That's how
up
I got
too.
in. Yeah, oh yeah, that's
1987.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Mhm.
So is there a particular aspect or moment from your service that stood out as impactful in a positive way for you?
Wow, there's so many. I mean, really walking with Marines and in the infantry. That's what we do. We walk.
Right.
Sometimes we run or crawl or whatever. No, just being with Marines, learning, whether it be those above me or those I had the honor to command. So many lessons across my 12 years in the Marine Corps, and it's made me the person that I am today, made me the leader I am today. Just all those lessons. But one thing probably my greatest takeaway, and it's become my career really, is thinking in terms of mission, right? Mission driven. Here's what we got to do. Here's when we got to do it, and why. And here's what we want the end state to be. What it's all going to look like when we'll accomplish our mission. In the military, we call that a 5-paragraph order or operations order. The acronym SMEAC, right? So you have your situation. Here's what's going on. The mission and what we want to do. Importantly, how we're going to execute to get that mission done. The admin and logistics, the command and signal, who's in charge, how we're going to communicate. That is so relevant to so many fields, business, education, so that framework,
Right.
I said I've made a career out of 5-paragraph orders.
Right. Right. How
Mm,
true.
yeah.
I believe you're correct in that. Yeah. Um, okay. So you separated.
Mhm.
What was your transition like? You went into consulting?
Sure. So my kind of bifurcated separation. So I served 6 years on active duty, lots of great tours at sea, on land. Um, and then I left active duty to come home and run the family landscape construction business, garden center out in Chester County, Pennsylvania. Not far, just a stone's throw from the famous Longwood Gardens.
Oh, wow.
So I I left active duty to come home and do that, and I just missed that camaraderie, the sense of purpose in that I found in the Marine Corps.
Right.
So I re-upped and into the reserves and spent 6 years very active in the reserves as a company commander, a battalion operations officer, and it was kind of a go period. And meanwhile, I was getting running the business, and then we um, eventually sold our garden center business and went into various things to include consulting. I deployed as a civilian contractor
Oh, wow.
overseas, supporting the U.S. military in places like Kosovo and Albania, Afghanistan, all over the Gulf states. So it wasn't much of a transition. I was doing the same kinds of jobs. I was just wearing jeans instead of camouflage utilities.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so then eventually we had to settle down, and my wife said, got to start a family, and I started my own consulting business.
Okay. And
Mm.
so now you're the director of operations at Founding Forward, and I know
Yeah,
um, I don't think you've been there quite a year.
just under a
Yeah,
year.
just
Right.
under a year. So I would love to know what that journey was. Founding Forward used to be the Freedom of Valley Forge, right? Freedom
Right.
Foundation.
Yeah. Yeah. So Freedom's Foundation at Valley Forge, in Valley Forge, adjacent to the national park, has been on this campus. So I'm speaking to you from the campus today. 75 acres, 10 buildings, founded in 1949 by Dwight Eisenhower, and E.F. Hutton and many other titans of industry back in that day, right? So post-war America, late 40s, the communism is kind of on the move around the globe, right? And these leaders, it's civic leaders, industry, religious leaders, sports. Jackie Robinson, in fact, was one of our co-founding directors. They had in their mind that we needed a place to teach founding principles, to teach about the Declaration of Independence, Constitution, the Bill of Rights. It was the very essence of the American project, which we're going to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the success of that project next year. So they founded this campus with the purpose of national civic education, grounding young people, students, and citizens in what it really means to be a citizen. It's just not all rights, it's also responsibilities. The
Right.
responsibilities that we all have as good citizens to serve our country, to serve our communities. And so we've been doing that since 1949 here on this campus. And then what happened about a little more than 20 months ago, about a year and a half, um, Freedom's Foundation at Valley Forge merged with the Union League of Philadelphia, right? So the Union League of Philadelphia, founded in 1862 to support President Lincoln, and there were Union Leagues in many cities, but the Union League of Philadelphia was the biggest, raised money, raised troops to include the U.S. colored troops, many regiments trained right here in the Philadelphia area. And that legacy of love of country has been the driving force for the Union League of Philadelphia since then. So this merger happened. Two organizations that had worked for years
Hmm.
together merged, and with that came renewed enthusiasm, kind of a startup notion, startup vibe for our mission, and we've been at it going hard for the last 18 months, 20 months to renew this campus, renew our programs,
Hmm.
uh, and it, and really become the national center for civic education right here in Valley Forge.
Hello,
Wow.
viewers and listeners. Are you a military veteran or a military family member and looking to own your own business? If so, go to jdog.com and check out our two veteran focused franchises, JDog Junk Removal and Hauling and JDog Carpet Cleaning and Floor Care. Our franchisees nationwide are always looking to hire fellow veterans and patriots. JDog is the world's largest military franchise system with hundreds of locations nationwide. We are nearly 90% veteran owned with the goal of reducing the veteran unemployment rate to under 1%. Check us out. Go to jdog.com to learn more. Now, back to the podcast. So how did they rope you in as the director of operations?
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't hire me as a consultant, um, which is
Oh,
not
okay.
not not uncommon for many of my prospects over my consulting career. But no, I had many great clients. But no, it really took someone to come in and we all have unique backgrounds. Mine kind of fit the needs
Hmm.
here. So there's a logistics component, there is a construction management component, strategic planning, you know, a lot of things like a 5 paragraph order or an operations
Right.
order, right? Here's the plan. Here's how we're going to execute. Here's how we're going to raise awareness, raise the resources, raise volunteers, all those things kind of played into a lot of my strengths and
Right.
wasn't quite ready to retire yet.
Sure.
So it seemed like a really good gig and it's been a blast. I've
Yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed every minute of those 12 and 14-hour days ever since I came here.
So a long time ago, Jerry and I toured the campus, heard about the civic program. Um, so you actually run programs for
Mhm.
students and high school students, college students, middle
Mhm.
school, elementary. What's
All the
the
above.
all of the
All-
above? Okay.
Yeah. So now the mission, what drives us here is transformational educational experience, place-based transformational education experiences for students, for teachers, and for citizens too. The what we specifically do here in the Valley Forge campus is mostly revolves around students. So that students from elementary school to college students to law students. We have many different programs that bring students to our campus. Uh, we have residence halls, dining facilities, um, and a campus that just kind of oozes history. And as I said, just 1 mile from where I'm sitting now was Washington's headquarters during the Valley Forge encampment, December 19th, 1777 through June 19th, 1787. 1 mile from here in the Potts House, George Washington, Martha, and all those great leaders from the Revolutionary War. You think about Knox and Wayne and Lafayette, Hamilton, aide to Washington, all right there in that house or around that house for that tough winter and transformational spring. And we're close to there, and we're very
Right.
close. I often walk there, and you can go into that headquarters, touch the very railing that Washington, Hamilton, Lafayette all touched. So again, the campus just oozes history. Our job is to make that real and relevant to the students that come through here all year round. And it's a dynamic place, a sacred ground, really.
Right. Right. And how long does the program run? Does it depend on what program they're going through or
Yeah. Yeah, so none of them are more than a week long.
okay.
Our flagship program is called the Spirit of America. Uh, we take about 100 students from all across the country, from various sources, lots of veteran organizations, BFW, AMVETS, Disabled American Veterans, National Sojourners, send us their candidates, send us their best, and help fund their stay here. So in that Spirit of America program, we take about 100, and when we're done with the renewal here, we'll take close to 200 um, as we improve our facilities. Um, but for a very concentrated 60 hours or so of instruction, of team building, of leadership demonstrations, leadership examples. One of the most acclaimed and positive parts of our program is we have very talented historical actors, historical reenactors who come and bring history alive to the students. One of the favorites is Thomas Jefferson. Um, if you sit for an hour and listen to Mr. Jefferson, you think you're really talking to the real deal. Um, he's funny, he's entertaining, and he connects. And with everybody from elementary school students to high school to college students and to adults like me. Um, so it's a lot of fun, and that's the essence of what we do on the Valley Forge campus of Founding Forward.
Wow. So, you say citizens. So, if I thought, wow, this would be something great to do, is
Mhm.
there like a day program or something for
Yeah.
someone like myself where I could just sign up and attend, or um, is it for just, do you have to be in a group of
No, no, not at
students?
all. So, founding forward, we take our programs on the road with teachers, and we take them to various venues. Many are the Union League properties
Hmm.
around the greater Philadelphia area, and we're one of those venues. In fact, we were talking before we started recording about the memorable, really profound in many ways event we had here just outside our podcast studio in our banquet and event center last night. When we do this about once a year, we bring a Medal of Honor recipient in to speak to a group of teachers um, during the day, and then to have a presentation at night. Um, Ryan Pitts, U.S. Army Sergeant, Medal of Honor recipient from the Battle of Wanat in Afghanistan in 2006. Um, his story in front of a group of about 200 people in our event center uh, was truly profound. He was such a good speaker, and getting across the ideals and the ideas that he and his soldiers um, went to fight for, and it was a moving experience. So we offer those kind of events all the time
Hmm.
to anybody that would like to attend, and an important, really key component of our 75 acres here is the 42-acre Medal of Honor Grove, where every Medal of Honor recipient in U.S. history, over 3,500 recipients,
Wow.
are memorialized by the state, their home of record, when they signed into their military service. So we have 52 acre, almost 52 acres, each state, and as well as the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico have monuments, obelisks out in a beautifully wooded campus, and walking trails, over 4 miles of walking trails. And the public is absolutely invited to come out and visit anytime. We're open 365 days a year, sun up to sundown. There's so many trees. When it gets windy, we do recommend you not go out there. We won't let you go out there. But that's another way people can get involved here in Valley Forge.
That's great that you just said that, because that was going to be my next question. Is if people just wanted to travel, could
Mhm.
they just show up, park, and walk around, you
For
know,
sure.
the trails and the memorial garden?
Yeah, they're absolutely welcome to do it. As I said, any day of the year, sun up to sundown. Uh, uh, there's signage, self-guided tours, or you call ahead. We can set up. We have formal tours, um, and I know this podcast is going out over the Reefs Across America
Mhm.
network. We're part of that too. So we're already begun planning for our next. For many years, we've been participating in that really great event, great American event.
Yeah.
Um, but this coming December, Saturday, December 13th, Reefs Across America, we do our version of that, Wreaths Across the Grove, to honor all those Medal of Honor recipients, none of which rest here, but their plaque rests here in
Right.
their state, and all the states are represented, and it's a wonderful ceremony, and just a chance to reflect, as we do all across America at holiday time, for
Right.
the service of all veterans, all servicemen members. But here we particularly focus on Medal of Honor recipients, and they're uh, most of whom gave their last full measure of devotion to this
Right.
country. So it's a
Right.
great event. Welcome
Yeah.
everybody to it.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Thank you for letting us know that. This has been amazing. Great work that you're doing there, Fred. But, we are the Tactical Treasures podcast, Fred.
Yeah.
So we've come to the time in the podcast where I have to ask you, what is your tactical treasure that you would like to share with us today?
You gave me a heads up that that question was coming, and then I completely forgot about it. Um, and that I said, "Oh, we're getting on the air with Tracy. What am I going to say?" So I reached in my wallet and I pulled out my coin. Right, so my coin that I was given way back in 1988 when I checked into Second Battalion, Fifth Marines, First Marine Division, Camp Pendleton, California. As a young second lieutenant before I was sent down to Fox Company, Third Platoon. Uh, then Lieutenant Colonel Gary Parks, soon to be General Parks, gave me this coin and told me the tradition of the coin, uh, and I've carried it in my wallet ever since. Everywhere I've been, it's never left. And I any of my former colleagues in 2-5, I'm prepared if you ask me to show you a coin. But this is my tactical, probably the closest thing I have to a treasure.
Mm,
Uh, it's as a very much amateur historian, the story and the tradition of ancient warriors carrying coins into battle so that they could pay the ferryman to get over to the good side. That that hit home, that ancient tradition, and to see it carried forward in command coins. Uh, Back in that day, back in the late '80s, it wasn't as it didn't seem as broad based as it is now, but
right.
it was still a thing. And that I think if I had to pick a tactical treasure, that would be it. My 2-5 coin.
I love it. That's a great tactical treasure. And I love that you still carry it with you. It's really neat.
Yeah,
Very special.
yeah, indeed. So I'm often embarrassed, honestly, especially on a night like last night, where we have Ryan Pitts, such a great American hero. I brought my sons to make sure that they got to meet him and listen to him. When people thank me for my service, I'm often embarrassed by it because I didn't do that much. It was maybe it was hard a few times, but I had good leadership and learned tons of lessons and made a career out of all of them.
Right.
Uh, um, so I'm a profoundly um, gifted or happy and just so grateful for having served. And now I'm trying to bring some of that forward here on this campus and the communities that we serve, and especially with the Medal of Honor Grove and just the history oozing out of these 75 acres. It's been a great gig, Tracy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a great campus. And, we were just there for the Army 250 VIP
Yeah.
reception. And, it's been a while since we've been there, but I can already see the renovations that are being done and everything. I think it's amazing. And I thank you for upkeeping, a wonderful place and organization where people and students can be taught about what it means to be an American, right?
Mhm.
And I almost feel like, unfortunately, those types of history lessons are no longer really being told in our schools these days. So thank you for taking it on, and that your organization exists, and that you're teaching these very important, historic, valuable principles of our country. It's
Yeah.
important. So great work, great work.
Thank you. There's hope, right? There is hope. Civics is civic education, history is having a bit of a rebirth these days. Some are calling civics the new STEM, right? So science,
Oh,
technology, and math. Civics are being able to work with each other, communicate, not be siloed in our clans or our tribes or our parties
right.
and those kinds of things.
Yeah,
Uh, that's what we do here, and we're hoping to
yeah,
really ignite a civics renewal in the
right.
country and be part
Yeah,
of that movement to restore that and carry this great American project forward for another 250 years.
right, right. Yeah, great work that you're doing, Fred. Thank you. Um, So, Fred, I would have one other question for you before we wrap up our time here.
Mhm.
So, do you have any advice for just fellow veterans who, are getting out and having that struggle with transition? What is my next purpose in life? What does my next chapter look like?
Wow. I don't know that I'm the best person to give advice because I've done since I left the Marine Corps. I've done so many things in so many different areas. Um, I guess maybe as I reflect on that surprise question, Tracy, it's a good one. It's a really good question. I think I might say, still consider yourself still serving America, right? So that the when you are fellow veterans, families of veterans, when you raised your right hand, uh, signed that check over to the United States government that they could cash at any time, uh, you know, take pride in that for sure, and remember all the great memories and stuff. But the mission's not done, right? We especially in the veteran community have to, I think, in this way, my view for what it's worth, I'm still serving America, and I'm not wearing a uniform. Couldn't fit in my any of my uniforms anymore. But here in the Valley Forge campus, or in my American Legion post, or service to in my community, or just family life, being a good citizen, still serving America, still serving that American project. That'd be my 2 cents. If if asked for for a recommendation, that's just
I,
kind of how I look at it.
I, I, I love it. I think that's great advice. So yeah, I love it. The service doesn't end when
Yeah,
your service ends, right?
for
So
sure,
yeah, that's
one hundred
awesome
percent.
advice. So Fred, before we wrap up our time here, where can people find and connect with you, and where can they find out more information on Bounding Forward, and the events that you're holding, and how to sign up if there's a
Sure.
sign up?
Yeah. So foundingforward.org. Um, Come visit us. At all of our events, all the history, the about, our programs, and importantly, right, we are a charitable organization,
Mm,
nonprofit organization. We exist totally on the generosity of our donors, to make our campus renovations, to run our programs, to feed our students. All that is based on the generosity of so many donors and friends. So foundingforward.org. Check us out. If you want my particular take on it, maybe you don't after this podcast, but if you want my particular take on it, you can follow me on LinkedIn. Occasionally, I'll post something from the Forge, or Ton Time, right? kind of trying to support the rebuilding of the
Right.
Tun Tavern, home birthplace of the United States Marine Corps, the Navy, Pennsylvania's Freemasons. So check me out on LinkedIn, and you can follow my unique take for what it is, for what it's worth, from the Forge.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you for that information. Fred, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing all that you did and the vision of Founding Forward and all the great work that you're doing there. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you, and thank the whole JDog family and what you do. This is so important, bringing veterans together and still serving America. Really appreciate you and the whole team there. Thank you.
Hello, viewers and listeners. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Tactical Treasures Podcast. We've just finished up a very enlightening conversation with Fred Connor, who served in the Marine Corps active duty and reserves as an infantry officer, separating after 12 years with the rank of major. He is now the Director of Operations at Founding Forward's Valley Forge campus. And Founding Forward was formed through the merger of two long-standing American institutions, the Union League Legacy Foundation, founded in 1947, and Freedom's Foundation at Valley Forge, founded in 1949. For generations, the two organizations have recognized Americans who uphold the foundations of our democratic system of government and educated future leaders to carry those founding principles forward. Based on their decades-long partnership, they united around a shared goal to ensure a future rooted in liberty. Engaging relevant, nonpartisan civic education is critical to uniting Americans. As a national nonprofit charity with over 75 years of experience, Founding Forward leads the way with immersive programs for students, teachers, and citizens. Their programs inform and engage citizens through transformational educational experiences grounded in American history. These experiences enable students, teachers, and citizens to understand, appreciate, and practice the principles, rights, and responsibilities of American citizenship. To learn more about education opportunities, events, donate, and to contact the team, go to foundingforward.org. Again, thank you for tuning in to this episode. Don't forget you can find Tactical Treasures podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms. American Grit on our website, tacticaltreasurespodcast.com, as well as our dedicated YouTube channel. We are now airing on Reach Across America Radio on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. You can also find Reach Across America Radio on the iHeartRadio app, the Odyssey app, and the TuneIn app. We are also proud to share that our JDog Foundation is a Wreath Across America sponsorship group. For each $17 Veterans Wreath you sponsor, $5 goes directly back to the JDog Foundation, whose mission is to prevent veteran suicide and heal veterans' mental health and PTS. You can donate right now at reachacrossamerica.org/JDog. Again, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again on another podcast real soon. Bye-bye now.